So welcome everybody. Really, really nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I always say there's a certain magic to connecting online, even though we're in different places, there's still a sort of alchemical union of us. So you can maybe imagine that you're not alone, but that you're with other people who'd like to discover their bodies in a different way, and through the body also liberate the mind. So today's class is to focus on our hips and the pelvis as such. How we walk through the world is largely dependent on how free we are in the area around the hips. So we're going to start just by standing, and then I'll lead you through some movements which come from the Feldenkrais method, and then we'll go into our yin yoga. Our hips also move in 6 seconds. Try this out. We're going to bring one foot forward. It doesn't matter if you fall over. So this is the flexion. Forward, and here. Both sides. Okay. Then extension is moving back. So move the leg back. Okay. Side. That on both sides as well. Then there's adduction, so which brings the leg closer to the center and across the center. And then there's abduction, which is moving the leg out. Thanks. Okay, sorry, there was something setting. Okay, so we have abduction, which is away, ABD, abduction. And then we have, and this mainly happens through the feet, we have the internal rotation. And try turning your feet in. Notice what that does here in the hip socket. And then the external rotation towards the outside. Okay, so we're going to look at all of those movements today, right? In a very, very restorative, quiet class. So take your blanket and make a little roll with it. Okay, so a little roll. And we're going to lie on our backs and place this roll under our knees. And then you can move back and lie back down. Okay, so just take a moment here to see how your body is in contact with the earth. Observe your breathing. You might even notice that as you inhale and your abdomen, your belly and your lower belly lift, the sacrum the lower back, first of all, arches a little bit on the inhale. And then when you exhale, the lower back comes a little bit closer to the ground. And as it does this, your pelvis rotates. So it moves as if it were forward and backward, very, very gently. Just tiny little movements. Relax your shoulders. And allow your mind to move deeper and deeper into the sensations that you have in your body. And we can imagine, just for this practice here around the hips, that all the little ligaments and joints and muscles are like butter, but it's cold butter. So we're going to melt that butter. And in that way, we're going to oil the joint, create more spaciousness in the body. And as we do so, we naturally access the mind, because body and mind are inseparable, as we know. So your legs are now facing down and pretty straight. And I invite you just to press your right knee into the mat and release it again. So tiny little movements. Press it into the mat and release it. And observe when you're doing so how you have the feeling that the pelvis on the right-hand side, you can place your both hands on the bony protrusions of the pelvis just to feel it a little bit more, iliac crest. Press down a bit and you'll notice that side, the right side of the pelvis, going closer to the ground. Maybe even the left side lifting a tiny little bit. Just as when we moved our leg back, the pelvis moved back with it. And then release your arms. And we'll do the same on the left-hand side. So both hands on the iliac crest here and the bones. And then push the left knee down and release it. And push it down and release it. And push it down and release it. So here again, you push down and there's a very gentle movement of the pelvis. Now, initially it might be not that easy to find the movement in the pelvis because it's very, very subtle. But like butter, we're slowly going to melt the muscles, melt the ligaments, and allow our awareness as well to become more and more subtle. And then the left knee releases, both legs release, the arms. And now legs sort of straight, and we're going to lift the right knee up, and it hardly really lifts. So it's a very tiny little movement. So you lift the right knee, you'll probably notice that there's pressure in the heel, and then you release it down. You lift it up, release it down. So here, the opposite happens. So the hip is going to, or that side, the right side of the pelvis is going to lift slightly. Deep in the hip socket, there's also movement, as when we brought our leg forward when standing. And then the other side, left-hand side, go straight to the other side. Just lift the left knee off the blanket. Tiny little movement, but with quite a large effect deep inside me. And then release. Arms release, legs release. You might notice that your body wants to naturally take a deeper breath. You might yawn, that's fine. The nervous system is calming down. And now we're going to bend the right foot so we can take You can reach for the blanket, just take out the blanket. Bend the right foot, no, bend the right knee, sorry, foot is on the ground. And then just press into the foot as hard as you can, the knees pointing up towards the sky, and you'll notice your pelvis lifting on the right-hand side. And then release. Press into the foot and release. So again, a sort of rocking movement here, up and down. We did a similar movement when we looked at our class on the back and the lower back. Now move the foot closer to you and grasp the ankle with your right hand. So your foot can go all the way out to the right hand side. See if you can grasp your ankle with your right hand. Knee is bent, and now the knee can move in any direction. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you grasp the ankle. Okay. And then once you have that, you're going to push into the foot, and then as high as you can, let the whole pelvis rock over towards the left and back again. All the way towards the left and back again. And now take your left hand and bring it behind your head and see if you can grasp either the right ear or the temple, die Schläfe on the right hand side, and then bring your head over to the left and push into the foot. So you're really rolling your body over to the left. Just as far as you can go. If we keep our eyes closed, there's no need to look at the screen. You just keep your eyes closed and enjoy the rocking movement. At the same time, become aware of what parts of your body here are engaged, what sensations you have. And then release the hand, release your leg, and just take a moment to relax here. Observe right and left side. You might have to readjust the body because it seems as if one side is more present and longer. Probably notice that the sacrum on the right hand side seems to come closer into the earth. And we'll do the same now on the left hand side. So first of all, just the left foot bent, right leg is outstretched, foot on the ground. And then just push into the foot and let the pelvis lift off the ground. Push down. See if you can push down through all 5 toes, especially the big toe. Pushing down, pelvis lifts. And now move the foot in such a way that you can grasp your ankle with your left hand. So left hand to left ankle. And now before we grasp the head, just lift the left side of the pelvis up and notice how the whole body is going to sort of turn with that. And then bring your right arm up and back and hold onto your left ear. Place it on your left ear. And then bring your head to the right and lift up the left hip and rock down. Okay, so rolling and back again. Rolling and back. And rolling. So you can either couple this movement with the breath, or you just focus on the body and the breath will flow in and out quite naturally. Release, release the leg down, the arm down, and take time to observe your body now. And notice the butter is melting, so the hip joint and the pelvis are becoming more fluid, and naturally our whole system is going to reorganize itself. And now place your left foot on the ground, your left knee is pointing towards the sky. Cross your right leg and bring the foot just below the left knee. So we have this exterior rotation that we had before when we were standing. And you can bring your left foot a little bit closer to you so that you feel there's more of a movement here in the right hip joint. So we're going to stay here and enter into the first part of our stillness. So make sure you're warm. If you feel that your head might need something under it, then take the folded blanket. So nothing too high, but maybe a little bit of cushioning if you need. And we're going to stay in this position for a slightly longer time. I'll mind the time, so you can just let yourself be here. And they say that the body is like the sand, and the mind is the wind, so we cannot see the wind. How the wind is blowing, we can see in the sand. And by reorganizing the patterns in the body, by entering into this sort of physical practice, we can create a more cohesive integration of our mental and physical selves. To become a more spontaneous, functioning whole. And this time as well of when the seasons again are changing, so the longest day is going to come and then our days will shorten. Nature is always in a cyclical rhythm of rest and renewal. And our bodies and minds ask that of us too. Then now gently we're going to roll the whole body as it is. So your right leg is up. We're going to roll over to the left. So your right foot will meet the ground and your upper body will twist, and you can either allow your head to move towards the right, or you can leave your head towards the left, or you can leave it with your nose pointing towards the ceiling. So whatever works for you. You could place your left hand on the right knee if you want. Just remaining. Always remembering that in this type of practice, we never experience pain. It could be a little bit, could be some discomfort maybe. And we try to explore the discomfort. But if there's any pain, then put something under the top knee. But even lift your right shoulder a little bit and sort of half lying on your side. Just make sure that you're okay to stay here for just a little bit. And then we allow the force of gravity to do what she knows best. It is to draw us to the center of the earth, and in that way to also reorganize and create equilibrium. And as our bodies and minds are so inextricably linked together, we speak of the body-mind. It could be that certain postures bring up what the ancient yogis already spoke of, the samskara, some patterns, maybe emotions, maybe thoughts that are held deep down in the tissue of your body. We're going to allow everything just to be. Allow ourselves to reside in the knowing that everything is perfect. As soon as we enter the present moment, everything is perfect. 3 more deep breaths here. And then gently roll back up from where you were and allow your legs to reach down and lengthen your arms to go out towards the side. In a Shavasana, the corpse pose, corpse meaning the state of the body as it is now. You just observe that. Now we'll do the same on the other side. So bend your right knee, place your right foot on the ground. The foot can be quite close to the body. And then bend your left knee and place your left foot just behind the right knee. And the left knee is out to the side. A very gentle exterior rotation. And then we just stay here and observe. Allowing your mind's eye to drop down deeply into the hip socket. And they say that this new moon coming up, we're already in the wake of the new moon. Never just a day. The new moon, which marks also the solstice. So they say it wants to teach us that while we may not always have a conscious choice over what happens in our lives, we always have the choice around how to feel, act, and react to what is happening. We can use this new moon to set intentions also around what we would like to change or see differently in our lives. Maybe if you sense a discomfort in any posture, you might want to choose to see that as an invitation to explore more deeply where the discomfort's coming from, where it begins and where it ends. And what thoughts may come up in connection with. And now from here, I invite you to bring the left knee all the way over to the right hand side, the left foot on the ground, and your whole body is opening up. The left shoulder can stay on the ground if that's okay for you. And then your head either to the left or as it was facing the ceiling or to the right. As we move into this twisting posture. Notice how your breath pattern might change. And in the I Ching, the Book of Changes, they speak about movement, of course. Movements in nature are also mirrored in our bodies. And it says there is movement, but it is not brought about by force. The movement is natural, arising spontaneously. For this reason, the transformation of the old becomes easy. The old is discarded, the new is introduced. The idea of return is based on the course of nature. The movement is cyclic and the course completes itself. In this way, the state of rest gives place to movement. Everything must be treated tenderly and with care at the beginning, so that the return may lead to a flowering. Constantly trying to return. And coming into our bodies, we become connected to our greater home, the earth. We become part of the earth, and she a part of us. We are received into her and she into us. We go through and from her support and nourishment, and we express her qualities through our very being. She is our ground. And then gently rolling back up. Lengthen your legs down, your arms away from the body, and just take a moment here to observe. Observe how you're in contact with the earth. Be curious towards any changes. Maybe even the mind doesn't mind anymore. It just is, and your body is. Now we're going to bend our knees again, both knees. And then if you have your blanket handy, just take your blanket and bring it underneath your pelvis. Okay, so you could sort of double it up and then move the pelvis down so it feels cozy and comfortable. So blanket underneath the pelvis. Then cross your right leg over the left so that the knees are touching each other. And then lift your feet up off the ground. Your knees are coming towards your upper body, they're off the ground. So you could either stay here or grasp your right foot with your left hand and the left foot with the right hand. So your knees are on top of each other. And by slightly lifting the pelvis here, it becomes a little bit easier. And then see if you can relax into this pose. This is the adduction, when we were standing, we moved our leg across the body. And just to make sure that you're not clenching the jaw, you could gently move your tongue to the upper palate and let it rest there. So your lips may be gently closed, but your teeth are apart. And all will draw down. Gravity will draw all down. Allow yourself to be weighted. Allow your body to return, as it were, to the earth, so that you may renew and come back again. Body minds one, the nature around. Allow all your senses to awaken. Our senses are not just in our heads, but they're also the tips of our toes, and the hairs on our body, and the nape of our necks. And then gently coming back. Uncross your legs. You can keep your pelvis up on the blanket if you want, and then just stretch the legs out. The pelvis is slightly lifted. Stretch your legs out. Be mindful of the lower back. There should be no pinching in the lower back. And just take a moment to observe right side and left. We'll do the same on the other side. So bend your knees. And then cross the other way. So right leg across the left, bring your knees in towards you, and then grasp one foot and then the other. Or was it left above right? I think it was left above right. You should cross them the other way around. And then release and find your comfortable pose. And let gravity do the rest. And inseparable from the earth who supports us, our ground, is of course heaven, the heaven above, the consciousness. Many philosophies, this is the mind. In Taoist philosophy, earth and heaven are the yin and the yang. The body being the earth and the mind being the sky, which coexist harmoniously in us. And when these two aspects of being, body and mind, are not in a harmonious union, and one is overemphasized at the expense of the other, the mutually enhancing connection between the two is lost. We get a sense of dislocation. We don't feel comfortable or at home in our bodies. And instead of knowing where we are, we feel lost and rootless. And some say that all sickness is homesickness. And so we search, attempting to return to our knowledge of who we are and where we are. And then gently releasing, coming back. And now you can take the blanket from under the pelvis and just release the whole body down to the earth. Whole body. You might even sense now the beginning of this harmony being instilled, body and mind seem to be moving together, sensing together. From here now, we're going to roll over to the left and come onto our bellies. So you're on your stomach. Bend your right knee and then bring your knee up, maybe so that it's 90 degrees to your upper body. So right knee out to the side. Now, if you have a hard floor, you might want to place something underneath the right knee so that it's cushioned. Right knee out to the side, and your foot is also out to the side. So the foot is flexed towards you, right knee out to the side, and then straighten the body. And you could have something underneath your head if you wanted, a cushion, or you could just rest your head on your hands and put your left cheek on the hands or your left cheek on the cushion. And we stay here and release the body down in what's called the half frog posture. And so even though the knee is bent, we imagine to have the same length in the side of the right body as in the side of the left body. And we allow ourselves time and time again to return home. all your senses alive. What are you feeling through your skin? You sense the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. What quality does it have? And then gently coming back, lengthen the right leg. Bring your toes together and let your heels fall out to the side. Make a little cushion with your hands or place your forehead on a block or on your cushion so that your neck is long, and just observe right side and left. With your head as straight as possible. Before we then move to the left side, so bending your left knee, flexing the left foot, maybe placing something underneath the knee if the floor is hard. And then we try and sort of shimmy the body in such a way that we feel that the upper body is straight on the ground, and then you can place your right cheek either on your hands or on a cushion and release into this pose. So with Yin Yoga, the deeper we go, the more we enter the mind, as it were, of our bones, the mind also of our cells. Element of earth. allowing yourself to return home. Then gently coming back, straighten your left leg. Bring your big toes together and let your heels fall out to the side. Find a cushion for your forehead. You could place one fist on the other and place your forehead inside the top fist. Release your heels out to the side. And very gently coming up. So place your hands underneath your shoulders and with a very heavy head, push yourself up very, very slowly till you're on all fours. And then bring your right knee forward behind your right wrist and your right foot over to the left, just as far as it can go. So this is swan pose, they call it. So right foot over to the left and move your left leg back. So if you feel that your right hip is going sort of lifting up, it feels uncomfortable, you could place your blanket or a block underneath the right hip. Bring a bolster or a cushion in front of your body as we allow the upper body to release down and forward. So the swan pose, or from yoga, the pigeon pose. Okay, but a softer version, so very supported. The main thing is that your spine is not twisted, but you have the sensation it's straight. And then when you come forward, you feel okay staying here. So we prepared for this posture lying on our back, so it should be a little bit easier for you. Allow yourself to make friends with all sensations in the body. And allow anything that comes up in form of thought just to be. Now the sands of your body become soft and expansive. Knowing that they will reflect your mind. Breath 2 slowly returning home, returning to its natural, calm and healing state. Then from here, gently moving back up. Bring your left leg and cross it over the right knee. And you could either keep the knee up like this, as if you were going into a twist, and then come forward, or you can bring your right foot, your left foot, so left knee's up, your left foot towards the right hip. Okay, so it's the same position that we had on our backs. Now, option here, so either you keep the foot up, okay, and or you could place your blanket or a cushion or a block, whatever's comfortable, underneath your hips. Okay, and then when you're here, one knee is on top of the other, if this is possible. Okay, hips can be lifted. you bring your upper body forward. Now here there are different options. You could have a bolster maybe and place your head in the bolster. Release your arms down by your side. Or you could have a block and place your head down on the block. Find some way to humble your head down towards the body. And then very gently come back up. So take a moment, very, very gentle transitions from one to the other. Uncross your legs and take a moment to lie on your back and let the body find equilibrium here. See how you're meeting the earth now. Gently rolling over to one side. Very heavy body. Using your hands to help you keep your head down and heavy. We'll come onto all fours. Bring the left knee forward, behind the left wrist, and then move your left foot over towards the right. So this is not quite the pigeon pose, not quite extreme as it were as the pigeon pose. Be very mindful of your knee. And then move the right leg back, slide it back. And then see if you'd like to stay here or if you'd like to maybe place something beneath your left hip. And then let your upper body come down. So they call this the dying swan, I think. So let the upper body come down and then find a comfortable position for your head. Make sure that your spine is straight. So you feel your spine straight. So it's not tipping to one side. Observing what happens here deep down in the left hip socket. Is it becoming melted butter? So you allow your mind to flow there and to release. Somehow we are leaping into the new and strange. And yet we also sense something that we already know deeply. Linda Hartley says it's part of the human condition to search, not knowing exactly what it is we seek. It's somehow sensing something hidden in our hearts. It's this mysterious balance of knowing and not knowing that drives us forward. And as we move forward, we find that we're returning to our own source and remembering ourselves along the way. Then very, very gently coming back up. Bring your right foot over the left. It's the same as we did the other side. Your option could be to keep the foot up, or you might want to bring the foot back. Feel free to sit up as well on something. Sometimes it's easier if you sit up on your cushion or folded blanket. And then once you find the position that feels good, you move forward. So any knee issues, I should have said that on the other side, you just keep one leg outstretched and bend the other one over it, okay? So we have the right leg above the left, the knees above each other, if this feels good to you. And then find something to cushion the frontal cortex, so the thinking mind here. Could be a bolster, could be a block. And as you allow yourself to sink down, that's when the alchemy actually takes place. The knowing and the not knowing are present at once. Quiet of the earth, the vastness of the sky. The sense of freedom within, as you know that it is a choice you can make in any moment how to respond. Allow your breath to give you wings of freedom. Open your heart. And then very, very gently move back out of your posture. Have your blanket ready to cover yourself. I want to put on some socks as we enter the final Shavasana. Might just want to remain here in this quiet, peaceful state. Allowing the body-mind to release down into the earth. Allowing the body-mind to return home. And the butter has melted. All tension dissolves. Physical body allowing now your energetic body to readjust itself. is well and you are held. You breathe the light consciousness from the heavens, from the skies, moves through the top of your skull, all the way along your spine, to the very tip of your spine. And the exhale, this light diffuses, spreads throughout your whole body, washing around each cell, revivifying, rejuvenating. Every single molecule in your body. That you can choose to stay where you are, remain lying. If you wish, you can come up into a seated position. Whatever feels good for you at the moment. Bring the right hand inside the left, palms facing up, thumbs are touching. And observe stillness within your heart. You can remain in meditation if you wish. Like to. Thank you all so much for coming. See you soon.